Hey guys, what you see here is a NuTone Slimline. Um, now, I got this one yesterday actually for absolutely free. Picked it up off of Craigslist down in Rockville. Um, and this is actually the very first one of these I think I've ever seen in person, at least, or at least that I can remember. I think there were some in like a few places in Ocean City probably that I probably saw those when I was like really little. I don't remember. But yeah, so this fan it was NuTone's like most economical fan model that they put out. It's their most basic. Like this was even more basic than the Decorator. These were made by Safer, a Safer manufacturing company, and this particular fan is a early '80s model. It is reversible. The very earliest ones were not reversible, but they looked identical to this. This one is early '80s. It has a cast-aluminium spinner motor and a double claw type mount, kind of similar to a Hunter original. And yeah, it has it's brown finish. The motor canopy, downrod, and nose are brown, and then it's got polished brass blade arms. And the blades are solid teak. They're really, really beautiful, and they're in great condition. The fan is in excellent condition altogether. And now I got this one from a guy. The reason he took it down was because the pull chain broke, and he took the pull chain out, and hardwired it to I think it was like medium speed or something, and that's why he removed it. So when I got to it, I thought, okay, I can just pop a new pull chain in here, it'll be fine. But what I didn't know is that NuTone's speed system is really, really different from any other fan. NuTone used transformer-based speed, so there's a transformer inside of the nose, and there's a run capacitor for the motor, but there's no other, like, it doesn't use capacitors for speeds. But yeah, so there's a common, and then there's two wires coming out of the transformer. And what I didn't understand is that, so one of those wires from the transformer is medium and the other is low, but there's no dedicated high wire, like to just hardwire the motor to high. The way you get high is you put both of the transformer leads together. And I had watched Dan's video on the repair of his NuTone Sea Island, and I just did not get it. So I finally posted on the Facebook group, and it turns out that I needed a special kind of pull chain, a three-way light pull chain actually, that would do one wire and then another wire and then both the wires together. And that's what I got in there right now. But let me tell you, it was so confusing. I got, like, I tried a few different pull chains that I had, replacement ones, and I got, like, only medium would work and then only low would work. And then one time all the speeds were high, and then I think the closest I got was high and medium would work, but low would not work, and I just could not figure out how to get it to work. But yeah, so I finally figured it out, and I'm so glad I did, because I agree with Dan that I hate transformer speeds. I've never had to deal with the wiring in one, because my American Industries Hugger has a transformer-based speed control, but of course that one still worked fine when I got it, so I didn't have to mess with it. But this one was just a pain. So, yeah, forgot to mention this one is a 36-inch model, PFL-36. I would like to get a 42-inch model, because I actually wanted to try this one out in my bedroom, because I really like the way it looks. But I think it's too small. It wouldn't look right. Yeah, so I'd like to find a 42-inch model. So yeah, I guess I'll go ahead and turn it on. Now the way the speeds are arranged, there's no way, with this type of pull chain, there's no way to get it to go high, medium, low like it did from the factory. So it goes low, medium, high, kind of like a Casablanca or an Alaska. So yeah, I'll start it up on high. That extension, by the way, I added. Of course, it didn't come with it. And just like almost all safer made fans that I've seen, it has a pretty slow low, or pretty slow high actually. It's very silent. There's a slight bit of bearing noise, but there's absolutely no motor noise. And I'm so happy because I was able to get this one completely balanced. When I got it, one of the blades was really bent downward, and I spent several minutes bending it in line. And I just went around straightening the other blades, and I was able to get it perfectly in balance without using any weights or anything. There's absolutely no wobble, 100% balanced, like I said. And also, this is the same motor that NuTone used for their 48-inch Pro lines. I'm not sure about the 3-bladed 52-inch ones. I think those came a little later. So I'll do medium now. So yeah, this is definitely the same motor they used in the Pro lines. And I'm not sure about the Sea Island. This is not the same motor they used in the Decorator. That was a stamped steel motor. I think actually the later Slimlines have a stamped steel motor. And they don't have that groove that goes around the outside. They're kind of just smooth like that. Like there's no seam there. So we'll do low now. And also another thing that I found interesting is that, so this one is painted brown, obviously, as you can see. They made these in antique brass, polished brass as well, I believe. And the brass plated ones, the seam in the middle of the motor is actually larger. And there's like a visible seam there. On this one, the top and bottom bells are just press fit together. Like the bottom bell slides up into the top bell. So I just thought that was interesting. I don't know why they did that. I guess it was just the way that the plating or whatever. I really don't know, actually. So that's your low speed. This one has a pretty slow low for a 36-inch fan. Yeah, this fan is really relatively altogether pretty slow. But I still like it a lot. So we'll turn it off. And reverse. And this one also has an upside down reverse switch. It's pretty interesting. So we'll start it out on low. In reverse. I actually do really like the slow low that this one has. It's almost restaurant low. Alright. Medium. And high. I can see the slightest bit of shaking. But still not bad. This fan is pretty sturdy. Okay. Get you out of here. So, here's the fan up close. See this really nice dark brown finish. This one has its original nose cap. The knockouts for light kit have not been punched out. If I were to install this in my room, I would want a light kit on it, so I'd probably have to punch that out, and that's another reason why I didn't want to install it in my room. So there's the upside down reverse switch and the pull chain. Later ones have the reverse switch and pull chain moved further apart from each other, I believe. And there's your motor, like I said, and the later ones that had stamped steel motors, they didn't have this this groove here. And then the blade arms say NuTone up there. It's upside down. You can see NuTone. And then here's those really pretty teak blades. They're in such good condition. This one's nose is a little loose. That's a typical problem that these have. There's a rubber bushing in there that rots over time. I'll probably have to tighten this one up eventually. So then on top of the motor, well, first of all, here's your canopy. And the later ones actually were ball and socket. They didn't have the collar here. This one has a regular bell canopy. I think this was the same one that was used on the later verandas. And then here's a label on the top of the motor. NuTone-Scovill, model PFL-36, made in Hong Kong. It is not labeled safer on here at all. And then there are three other tags. This one is like caution. I think it's kind of faded. Caution blades must be 7 feet off the ground. And then there's this one right here, and there's that one right there. And I think one of those was probably a date code, but those have faded, so I'm not really sure when this was made. This is clearly an early 80s model. Definitely one of the better quality ones. And you can kind of see in there the bearing right there. There's kind of like the bearing housing on the bottom end bell. It's like the disc right there, just like on the 48-inch Pro lines that don't have noses. So I think that's about it for this video. There's nothing else that I can really say about this fan other than this is a very nice ceiling fan. I really like these, and I'm very happy to have this one. So thank you for watching, and more to come.